All right. Today we are starting the fourth module.
Hello, sir.
I said today we are starting the fourth module.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
It's
the previous one.
Hello.
It's unfortunate. I don't know. You need to put your audio somehow.
Oh.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I want to use my earpiece.
Okay. All right, Mohammed is coming. Hello, Mohammed. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello, sir.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you, sir.
All right, that's fine.
I'm fine, sir. I'm traveling, sir.
All right.
Fine, thank you, sir.
Welcome to class.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. I'm waiting for. I'm expecting. Okay, Zia is coming. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's linking up.
Oh, she's linking up.
Yeah, Zia is linking up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's
I'm on now. I can now hear you, sir.
Okay, that's fine. All right, everybody is trying to hook up. Mohammed is in already. I see people trying to come in. So we are beginning. We are actually beginning our fourth module on learner support services. And the first unit is centered on the definition and purposes of learner support. Okay, let me move this way so I could have a clear house.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Goze, you are in already.
Yes, sir. Sorry, network, sir. And time difference, sir.
I understand. Anyway, you are enjoying your life. Just make sure you
no, sir.
Just make sure you bring something back from us. What do you mean no? Are you not enjoying the cool weather over here? Spring is just
no. Mohammed, what are you saying? Mohammed has put me in trouble. No, it's not like that, though.
And
they're in Accra. They're in Accra now.
In this evening, so.
God almighty. Sir, it is, sir. I don't know, sir. Sir, we are still working, though.
Okay. Just make sure you bring something for those of us in Nigeria.
It's okay, sir.
All right. So, definition of learner support service.
Yes, sir.
Learner support is one critical component of an effective open and distance learning environment. Now, as a concept within open and distance environment, learner support has been variously defined. However, the concept does not have a widely accepted definition. So we are just going to look at some definitions here. Garrison and Beatty define learner support as the resources that learners can access in order to carry out the learning process. So every resources that learner can access, Garrison and Beatty define as learner support services. But Garrison 89 observed that in distance education, support is concerned with a range of human and non-human resources to guide and facilitate the educational transaction. So take note of Garrison 89, human and non-human resources. Now, Tate is one of the most prolific writers in open and distance system.
Yes.
And he is of the Open University of UK. He has written extensively on learner support and then the whole enterprise of open and distance learning. Now, this is its definition, very long one. The term student support means the range of activities which complement the mass-produced materials which make up the most well-known elements in open and distance learning. It is of course true that printed course material, printed course units, television and radio programs, computer programs, which replace the lecture as a means of delivery, and after so much, both in terms of social and geographical access and in terms of cost effectiveness, support students in central ways. But the elements of ODL, which are commonly referred to as student support, are made up of tutoring, whether you are doing this face-to-face or by correspondence or telephone or electronic or whatever form of tutoring you are doing, it's a common aspect of student support. Then you have counseling, the organization of the study centers, interactive teaching through television and radio, and other activities. These activities have as key conceptual components the notion of supporting the individual learning of the students, whether alone or in groups, which in contrast to the mass-produced elements are identified for all learners. Now, if you go through Tate, you discover from his description that Tate did not include course materials in student support services. I hope you can see that. But tutoring. So, in other words, as far as Tate is concerned, whatever we are doing over web conferencing right now is a form of student support. Do you get it? Okay, let's look at SIDE.
Yes, sir.
SIDE is South African Institute for Distance Education. SIDE defines learner support as the entire range of methods and strategies employed in the presentation and delivery of courses aimed at assisting and enabling learners to comprehend fully, assimilate, master the skills and knowledge needed to achieve success in their studies. So really that is how wide the concept of learner support services is. Now, Simpson brought another dimension. He said there are some learner support we can classify as academic learner support services, and there are some we can classify as non-academic support. So, academic support, Simpson says, include defining course territory, explaining concepts, explaining the course, feedback, whether informal and formal assessment, developing learning skills such as numeracy, literacy, chasing progress, following up student progress through the course, enriching, extending the boundaries of the course, and sharing the excitement of learning. So anything that has to do with tutoring is classified as academic. While non-academic support consists of advising, giving information, exploring problems, suggesting directions, assessment, giving feedback to students, practical help to promote study, advocacy, funding, writing a reference, agitation, promoting changes within the institution, administration, organizing student support, classified as non-academic support. Now let me just give an instance. When Gladys called me today and said she has been missing because she's not been able to log in, I sent a link to her and she's able to log in. That's a form of non-academic support.
Yeah.
All right?
Thank you, sir.
Good. Yeah, thank you, Gladys. Now, what are the functions of learner support services? That are classified as cognitive function. Now, cognitive support facilitates learning through the mediation of the standard and uniform elements of course materials and learning resources for individual settings. So whatever we are doing to promote your content goes under cognitive. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Affective function is that those services that provide an environment that supports students, creates communities, and enhances self-esteem. So the creation of this whole learning portal is an aspect of affective function. The idea is we need to create an environment that will help the students to learn. Now imagine that you are the first set of PhD students that will be receiving their facilitation on GST online. Have had to battle on it on their own. So we are trying to enhance. Some of you are happy with this kind of interaction rather than doing the studies on your own.
Yes.
Now, systematic function. Systematic support service establish administrative processes and information managing systems that are effective, transparent, and student-friendly. So like we have the MIS, and they're supposed to handle all your informations. You have your individual portals, and your information are supposed to be there. Okay, so types of learner support services. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm with you. We are with you.
Now, I don't only identify 5 types of learning support services, and they are listed as follows. Okay, I think we'll handle that in the next. We'll handle that in the next lesson. There is some editing they should have done here. They have done some editing here. This is not supposed to be here. Okay. So we should now go back to our forum discussion. Actually, this is another forum discussion. In the few weeks we have spent in National Open University of Nigeria, list all the activities you have gone through that can be classified as support services and group them according to their type. So, can I begin to see your post from tomorrow?
Please, can you come again once again, sir?
I said,
list all the activities.
Yes, list all the activities that you have gone through in your few weeks at Open University that can to be classified as support services, and tell us what type of support services it is. Now, let's just go into types of learning support services now. Now, though a lot of activities are involved in what is broadly known as learner support services, they are usually classified into 3. And what we have here is teaching and learning, social and personal, access and information. Now, according to BOA, teaching and learning includes the following. Teaching and learning contacts, so all our contacts together are classified here. Network and learner support centers, that's networking students on the, for example, the discussion forum. Compulsory residential schools, there are some distance learning institutions that insist on some kind of residential school. Then, practical sessions for professional training, like teaching practice, practicum for nurses, and practicum also. I think there are some education students that take practicums too. Now, access to facilities, academic advising, tutorial counseling in person or by letter, by telephone or email, tutorial marking and feedback, quick turnaround on assignments, orientation and ongoing training of tutors to ensure quality, supply of high quality learning materials, pre-examination counseling, pre-course registration and counseling services. Okay, you can read the rest. Academic and tutorial support. Academic support has to do with support geared towards the academic life of the student. At the beginning of distance education, academic and tutorial support is done mainly through tutors at the local study center. As of today, we have mixture of face-to-face tutorial at the study centers and web-based tutorial. So what we are doing in this course is a web-based tutorial. So like every other open university, NOUN operates a mixture of face-to-face tutorial at the study centers and web-based in selected courses now. But we hope that as time goes on, our tutorial will be completely web-based. Now we have social and personal support services. These include the pre-registration, pre-course registration and counseling. I don't know if any one of you gone through that. Did you discuss with people? How did you get your registration done? Internet and email support. You know, each time that I schedule the class, I send mails to you. Peer support and study groups. You are supposed to create that on your own. So I'm not supposed, sorry, I don't have my light when the AEDC decided to funk my light. Okay. Career experience. Nothing to worry about. That's Nigeria. We are used to it. Disabilities, minorities support, adult learner support, multicultural education coordination, and social events. All this will go under social and personal support. Now, under information services, that's provision of all information on fees, financial support, information on administrative procedure and regulation, information on registration and admission, access to information technologies, record management, all this come under information services. And then the administrative support. Now, administrative support will perform functions as admission, registration, course scheduling, student records, financial transactions, and in most universities today, even including conventional universities, all these are automated. You don't need to come to Abuja to pay your fees. You go to and do your remitter, you pay through the bank, and all the money is in your portal. Now, technical support. Technical support is defined as the monitoring of the effective, of the efficient operation of delivery media and offering technical assistance to learners. So I know that there are times when Guzir was offering technical assistance to Mohammed.
Yes, so.
So that will go under technical
and Gladys.
And
yes, so.
Gladys.
Okay, then we also have the library support. The library support, and you should know what the library support is. Then the counseling support. I know many of you may not be making use of the counseling support, but all our study centers have counselors that are equipped to advise whether it is academic or psychological. All right, so let me pause and say, do we have any questions at this point? Any question?
My question, sir, is to that interactive forum, sir.
Okay, what is your question?
How do we just write our answers and post on the forum?
Yeah, post. You are supposed to write your answer and post in the forum.
Okay.
Okay, so
that post on, send it to you as a mail.
No, you don't need to send
Just
it.
post.
Just post it on the forum. Anytime I go on the forum, I'll see it. I'll make my comments, and if I think you need my comment, I'll make it. But the issue is that this is supposed to be interactive. You are supposed to even read one another's post and kind of critique one another's post. If you don't do this, you will all score low grade in your TMA3, because your TMA3 is going to be based on your, what do you call it now? Or your discussion forum post.
Okay.
Mohammed, do you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I'm not sure I've seen you posting anything on the discussion forum. Have you?
No, I've not, sir.
Okay. People have not posted.
But I'm getting it right now.
Wait, now let me just tell you, people have not posted anything in the discussion forum are going to score 0/10.
Sorry, sir. I'm just
Now we start.
like,
We start doing it.
No, it's
yeah,
not
this is
me. That's the way the course is designed. So that's why I'm telling. My own is to let you know that discussion forum carries 10 marks.
But sir, when can we start using the discussion forum? All time, even if we're not online.
I have put one discussion on your portal already. It's only Gozie that has attempted, and Gozie did not even get it right too.
Because
problem.
I'm still
I've
having
not seen that.
my course outline for one. Because you said you will send it, sir. I didn't see it, and I looked for the recording. I didn't see it. Rather, I was seeing the one that you did with a lady in the office.
The same thing. I saw one with language. Is it not French or what language?
There's nothing of our class that is online. As of 2 days or 3 days ago, I looked at 2 days.
Everything up at learning content system. I wanted to go there and ask them to pull down when they have their up the correct thing. Sorry about that. But go back to your discussion forum. Okay, tomorrow I'll see if I can get in there tomorrow. If I can't, then that will be after Easter because I want to go on Easter break. Is that clear? I'm going on
Okay,
Easter break means that
yes, sir. No, sir.
there is no class on Easter Sunday.
And it's Saturday. No class on Saturday, sir.
No class on Easter Saturday.
Till Wednesday, sir.
Till Wednesday.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So you people should not. You people should not eat my Easter. Not eat my Easter.
No, sir.
All right. Let's try and see what we can do with. Okay. You don't have any questions?
I have to go over this before I can know what question to ask.
Okay, all right.
For now.
In that case, let's just go through sources of learner support. And when we come to class on Wednesday, then we can talk about these things. Okay. The issue is that where should students get learner support services? And the first and the basic place where students are going to get their support is the study center. The study centers of Open University form part of the detached program of the university, framed to provide extensive, modern, and efficient student support services to the students. The university assigns an important role to contact sections at the study centers, and this is expected to help the students both academically and personally. Now, at the beginning, we were running face-to-face class sessions with students at the study centers. We call it facilitation, like online facilitation we are doing. At that time, even if there is one student in class, that student will be facilitated. And the university is kind of paying 40,000 per semester for a 2-unit course for the facilitators, and about, I think, 60,000 for a 3-unit course, and I think about 100,000 thereabout for a 4-unit course. So at a point, the money was so heavy on the university. So that's what led us to where we are now, that the university, okay, if any course where we don't have 50 students will not be facilitated. And that eventually killed facilitation in almost all the study centers, except the real big study centers. And even the big study centers, some courses, facilitation are killed because if you don't, for example, in most of my own courses, I can hardly get 50, I can even hardly get 10 students in a course. So they are not facilitated, and that's why I am crazy about facilitating my course online now. So because it offers me getting, the students who are really suffering. The Greek language and Hebrew language is not a language you can learn on your own.
Yeah.
So at that time, the study center does all those things, organize the study center, organize the facilitation, If they don't have place for students, they look for place where the student will sit. They look for the facilitators, and they get all these things done. Now, the study center is equipped with staff to fulfill all these functions. In the National Open University of Nigeria, a study center is under normal conditions headed by senior academic staff, usually a professor and associate professors. But sometimes we can have senior lecturers, but definitely not anybody below senior lecturer can head a study center. Now, there are some centers, however, that we don't have academic staff, but we have senior non-academic staff like chief counselors or deputy registrars. So the director of the study center, actually, we always say that the director of the study center is the representative of the vice chancellor. So he possesses the power of the vice chancellor in his study center. And is supported by counselors, supported by administrative officers of various cadre. Usually, the number of the study center staff is dictated by the population of the students in the center. I don't know what is happening now, but when I was a director of the study center, I have about 72,000 students and I have about 50-something staff.
Ah, wow, that's much.
So, yeah, not much. Okay, so now other staff available in the centers are accountants, so that the student will have information from bursary at their fingertips, and then we have the ICT staff to assist the students when they have problems technologically. Then we have the clerical officers, and then we have the cleaners. I think they said we should call them environmental assistant. I don't know what they said they should be called now. Now, the organization of the study center is left in the hands of the director of the center.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, and all the study centers are kind of autonomous. So the director determines what goes on in a study center. So when I was in Lagos, what I was doing was to kind of replicate the head office. So we have faculties, and I have officers that work within each faculty. So it helps me to track who is doing what. Do you understand? So if any student has problem in a faculty, I know those I will hold responsible in that faculty, because I have people working. So you will not see a staff working with students in Faculty of Education and start working with students in Faculty of Arts. I didn't allow that to happen, so that there could be proper accountability. But that is my style. It may not work in other study centers. Yeah. Then because we are large, the distribution of course materials in Lagos, then we have to zone the days. So if you come to the study center and ask for course material when it is not the day for your faculty, nobody will attend to you. Yeah. So the director has the exclusive right for the organization of the study center. The support services of the center are now entrusted in the hands of this staff. Learner support activities that go on in the study centers can be classified into academic and non-academic activities. And let's look at this briefly. Pre-admission and admission process. So most of the time, students come to the study center to ask questions on I want admission. What am I supposed to do? Now you understand. And then it's our job to attend to them, to put them through. In fact, sometimes the counselor at this point can look at their results and say, for example, you can have A1 in English, have A1 in mathematics. If you don't have credit in literature, you cannot do law.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
in such cases, the counselors will be there to guide the student. And not that you cannot do law. These are the courses you can do. Will you go for any one of those courses? So all those pre-admission and admission process work goes on in the study center. And filling of forms, submission of forms, till the point that the student finish his registration, begin his registration process, or get his admission letter, everything is done at the study center. I think you have gone through that process anyway.
No, we have not done registration.
You've not done your registration. You in this class if you have not done your registration?
Majority of us, we don't even know. We have been asking and asking, how do we go about? They were asking us to send something the other time, not quite long ago, which we didn't hear anything again.
Okay, maybe there's
the kids and whatever. I don't know.
Maybe your faculty is still battling with certain things. Yeah, actually, the PhD program is supposed to be run fully by the faculty. It's not, our PhD program is not actually domiciled in the study center for now.
Okay.
So now the registration, payment of fees mark the commencement of the student's formal registration. And here we have about 3 fees. Okay, fine, we have 10 minutes more, so we'll round up soon. Here we have about 3 fees, the compulsory fees, which are made up of fees peculiar to new students, such as orientation, matriculation, library, laboratory, and blah, blah. For the undergraduate students, I know that their compulsory fees just about, if you are a returning student, I think it's about 18,000, and for new students, I think it's about 36,000. Now, course registration fee. For each fee course you register, you pay course registration fee. And these are determined by the course units. I don't know for PhD, but I know that a 2-unit course is registered for about 1,500 or 2,000. 3-unit course is about 2,500. And because of the flexibility, the students can, the minimum credit load the student can carry is 10. So if you are doing 2-unit courses, that is about 5. And if you are doing 3-unit courses, you could do about 3 or 4. Yeah. Now the examination fee. For each course, students pay, undergraduate pay 1,000 naira exam fee, and postgraduate pay 2,000 naira per course exam fee per course. So if you are doing 9 courses, exam fee is going to be 18,000. Yeah. So the student has, for this, actually this is because conducting examination in Open University of Nigeria, it's a money chopping enterprise. I hope you understand what that means. For example, our exam goes on for about 1.5 months. Or let me say,
wow,
the pen and paper exam will go on for 18 to 20 days. Then the e-exam will go on for another 18 to 20 days.
Wow.
So now, when we want to start exam, we have to begin to mobilize. All answer scripts have to go to all the over 80 study centers in the country. So massive transport and transportation takes place at that period. Then you know that all exam questions from 300 level upward have to go through the process of moderation, internal and external moderation. And all those moderators have to be paid.
Wow.
Yeah, so for example, people who are moderating undergraduate courses, I think they get paid 20,000. If you are moderating postgraduate course, you get paid 25,000. If you are moderating masters, you get paid 30,000. But that is not the issue, because we have to, if, for example, this semester now, or the person that's moderated my courses in Islamic source came from Ibadan, so I have to pay flights to and fro, and then we have to pay DTA because the person will sleep in Abuja for 2 nights, 16,000 per night.
Wow.
We have to pay local run within those 2 nights.
Wow.
And that will be added now to the, what do you call it now, to the money meant for the moderation itself. So you see that you do that for all your courses. You could imagine how much money we are talking about. Then apart from that, once exam begins, some people, staff will have to go out. There are people who go on as monitoring exams. So you have to travel out to all the, we send staff to all study centers where exams is taking place. And once you are sending staff out, you have to pay them flight for their journey, except where they are going cannot be reached by flight. You have to pay them visitor allowance for going out of their station, mostly for 3 days. So imagine you do that for almost 1,000 or 2,000 plus staff, because they have to go and monitor all those exam venues, and they bring out their reports. This is what we have seen in the exam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, like I said, some of this money people are paying for exam that is used to handle all those ones. Then after that, at the end of the exam, by the time we finish pen and paper and we are starting e-exam, if some people will go and monitor e-exam, while marking has to take place. Marking goes on in about 8 venues across the country. You understand that now? So we have to move answer scripts from various study centers, because we don't mark answer scripts in one center. If, for example, if Lagos has their script, that script is not going to be marked in Lagos. Are you getting it? Yeah, we can. Lagos scripts will be marked in Abuja, and Abuja scripts can be taken to Port Harcourt. So
how would they? Is it CBT kind of, or oral?
This pen and paper exam, the one, so answer script has to be moved.
Okay. Then the E1.
What did you say?
The E1.
The E1 is even easier for us to handle. But
just like when
yeah, it's like because my head has marking centers, so they have to move streets too. Yes, it's just like that. And then
okay, the E1, students.
I can't hear you, Gozi.
I am the E1. How do they do it? Is it like how we are now? They ask the questions, they type it or something. How do they?
Yeah, yes, they use computers for the E1. So the E1 is not as terrible as demanding on the university, except that the university has to make sure that she install computers in all study groups.
Okay, they go to the study centers to write it.
To write it, yes. So
okay.
Let me finish what the marking now. We have to do orientation for the markers. We have to appoint the markers who definitely must be holders of PhD and nothing below. So usually we always want to do what we call conference marking, and our marking goes on for 18 days.
Wow.
So now imagine that there will be staff that will be posted to this marking center, and they have to be paid for that 18 days. So it's a money gulping event. So now we have just about less than 2 minutes plus. So let me just pause here for today. If there's any question that we can take with the next 1 minute before the class runs up.
So don't forget our video and our course outline, sir.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do tomorrow, but if I'm not able to do it tomorrow, remind me on Wednesday.
Okay, sir.
I will be back to Abuja. I will be back to Abuja on the 26th or 27th.
So are you in Lagos, sir?
I'm in Abuja now, but I will be in Lagos by Friday, Good Friday.
Okay.
Oh.
For the Easter break.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Now, yeah, when you're talking about these examination centers, like we are writing the exam now, this is our first semester. Are we writing in Lagos Center or?
No, your faculty will decide. Faculty of Education will decide that.
No,
and I don't belong to Faculty of Education, so
it's okay, sir.
I'm in the Faculty of Arts.
It's okay.
Okay, yes.
It's all right, sir.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy
Ah,
Easter,
sir, I'm
sir.
so grateful.
Happy
Good night.
Easter, sir.
I'm so grateful for
Same to
connecting
you.
me.
Take care.
Ah, thank you
Good
very
night.
much.
All right.